Let him do some fucking tricks, Phil.
Let the man kickflip, Phil.
Let the man kickflip.
I see what you did there. You know what? With that, we're going to jump into our next episode. Folks, welcome to the Content Mill. This is the show where 4 creators from 4 corners of the internet all get together to talk about what we are making and what we are playing. And my name is Gianni. I will be your host for today's episode. With me are my amazing co-hosts. We're going to kick things off with Nate, heroic headgear, the man beneath the helmet. How are you doing today, Nate?
I am fantastic. It's just one right after the next, right?
That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
That's the mill working as intended.
It's
Literally.
the mill. It's turning. It's turning. Phil, how are you today, my friend? Mr. 70% complete. How are you doing?
I am hanging in there. It is 9:00 Eastern time.
We're trucking.
We're making it. We got it.
We've got it. We're good.
We're making it happen. And last but not least, we have Eric, Mr. The Human Plays. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. I finished my coffee. It's 5:50 West Coast time, so I'm chilling.
We still got plenty of time. We still got Phil is the only one holding us back. Phil, come on. You gotta make some moves, man.
I'm just living in the future, baby. And what I see is sleep.
Well, guys, if you don't know already, this is the Content Mill podcast. This is part 2 of our multi-episode launch. We have a really fun topic for today's episode. I want to jump into our housekeeping segment, or what we have aptly dubbed the run of the mill. And you could there's like a little graphic you could put up right here, something like a little bumper or something like that. This is the run of the mill. This is our housekeeping. I just want to jump into a little bit of information about what we're doing here at the Content Mill. Like I said, this is part 2 of our multi-episode launch of the podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about Sword of the Sea and some of our thoughts on that released in August. So had a little bit of time to stew on it. We've all gotten a chance to play Sword of the Sea, so we thought it'd be a fun opportunity for us all to kind of go over our thoughts on that. If you haven't already, we have a couple of other episodes on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/the Content Mill podcast. We have one episode kind of going over the games that made us, kind of content that we make, just kind of brief introductions about the 4 of us as a team. And then we also have a fun conversation about the games that came out during our birth years and kind of drafting and picking and tweaking and figuring out who has the best year in gaming. Really fun conversation. You don't want to miss it. That's all over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/the Content Mill podcast. Guys, are you ready to talk about Sword of the Sea?
Yes.
I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
I'm
champing at the bit.
I have thoughts.
I'm excited. I am excited. Sword of the Sea was released August 19th. It's currently sitting at an 88 on Metacritic, 87 on OpenCritic. This is developed by Giant Squid. If you're not familiar with Giant Squid, they are the developer behind Abzu, The Pathless, now Sword of the Sea. For those that have not heard of Giant Squid is actually a team of former developers from a company called That Game Company. That Game Company made one of, Eric, I know this is one of your most, coveted games of all time.
It's a perfect game.
Yeah. Journey is an amazing game. If you haven't played Journey, make sure you go play Journey. I'm sure we'll jump into a little bit on our thoughts on that as well as Flower and Flow. I feel like That Game Company doesn't get a lot of love for those titles as well. Also some really good games. But yeah, so Sword of the Sea came out about a month ago at this point. Before I jump into everybody's thoughts, I want to know what your history is with That Game Company, Giant Squid, what kind of their games you've played, what your kind of overall vibe is. And also, did you beat Sword of the Sea? And how long did it take you? Before we get into grades, so I don't want to know too much about your thoughts yet, but I want to know kind of your history with the franchise. And I want to know if you've beaten Sword of the Sea yet. So we're going to kick things off. Nate, tell me a little bit about your history with these 2 companies and this franchise.
Yeah, so I've only played Flower and Journey. Flower, I only really dipped my toes in and thought of it kind of as just like a I mean, what, a demo or a like kind of showcase thing. I didn't view it as like a big long game to play through, so I think I only did maybe an hour or two in it. And then Journey was fucking experience for me. That spiritually changed me and made me see games differently. I played that in 2015, so I was a 15-year-old kid. It was like midnight at a friend's house after he'd gone to bed, and I played through this and ended up sobbing at like 3 or 4 in the morning, just by myself. Like, what was this? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's my history with that game company. Haven't played any of their other stuff though.
And then, have you beaten Sword of the Sea? And how long did it take you?
Yes, I beat Sword of the Sea last night, actually, and that took me, I think it was 3 hours and 45 minutes, roughly.
Okay. PS5 or PC?
PS5.
PS5. Okay, cool. Phil, what about you? Talk to me about your history with the franchise, their games, and then if you've rolled credits on Sword of the Sea yet.
I do not have a history with this franchise at all. I can picture the flower cover art, and I guess my only touch with this is I think it was actually through Banner Saga. I found out about Austin Wintory. He did the score for Banner Saga, and I have kind of just like followed him wherever he goes. So the most I have touched these games is I've listened to the Journey soundtrack a lot. I think there's a track on there called like Metamorphosis or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty high up there on
That'll be an experience for you when you finally play the game and you're like, the thing I've been listening to.
Yes. Yeah. I finished Sword of the Sea a couple weeks ago now, I think. And it took me 3 hours and 8 minutes, I think.
PC, PS5.
PC.
Okay.
PC via Moonlight on my television. So
It's
really
like Inception.
making it weird. Yeah.
All right, Eric, what about you, my friend? What's your history with these games, and have you rolled credits on Sword of the Sea?
So I did roll credits, and it took me 3 hours, 18 minutes, and 26 seconds. I know that because that's how long my VOD is. So I do have a VOD on my YouTube channel. You can go check that out. But very interesting. I didn't point this out in our little bit because I want to leave a little bit of room for discussion on Journey. Journey is the one singular game that my wife has recommended to me.
Wow.
And she is not a gamer. She plays video games. She plays like Animal Crossing. She has some iPad games. She plays like Disney Dreamlight Valley. She plays chill, cozy games. I had Journey just sitting on my PS4 because they gave it away for free at one point. And she was over at my house and she played it. And I was not around. And she beat it. And she was like, you have to play this game. And just the fact that like I wanted to be in her head, to be a non-gamer playing that game, to just discover that game as a whole is just like crazy to me, because it is, in my opinion, one of the best games of all time. It is a perfect example of like games are art situation. And I love it. I haven't played any of the other stuff. They've always been on my list. I'm pretty sure I actually own Abzu because they gave it away for free on PlayStation. So it's somewhere in the cloud. But we are forgetting one other thing, and it's a game that's interested me for years that game company made, and it was originally just a mobile game, and it's an open world multiplayer game called Sky.
Yeah.
And that is more of a spiritual successor to Journey, because what they did in Journey, they then elaborated on in Sky specifically. Not the sand elements that went to Sword of the Sea. But yeah, that's another game that would be fun. I've never played it. It's always been something I've been curious about. That might be something that would be something fun for us to just download it on our phones, mess around with it for a weekend, and see like what's up with that game, because they're still doing updates. I went to their.
I was gonna say, do they still support Sky?
They literally have if you go to their page, they have from August 25th, Days of Sunlight 2025. Let's go to the beach. Like literally, they have stuff every couple weeks. It looks like, and it's literally just like the perfect MMO. It seems like, because it's just like people chilling. Like that's all it is.
What is the premise of Sky?
It's an open world exploration game, I believe, with just like, it says, is a peaceful, award-winning MMO from the creators of Journey. Explore a beautifully animated kingdom across 7 realms and create enriching memories with other players in delightful puzzle adventure game. So that just sounds like Journey MMO. Like,
Yeah. I think there's a hold hands button in that
Yes.
game.
Cute.
So that might be a fun one because that's always been on my list, and it seems like it's still something they're updating, which is cool.
Listen, I'll do anything to hold hands with the homies.
Kiss the homies goodnight. Yeah.
Well, I have held hands with the homies because I have played Sky.
Oh, hey. All right.
Yeah. So I played Sky when Sky first came out. I want to say I put in like a few solid weeks on that game. It was one of those things like you kind of just pick it up for 30 minutes at a time, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And it was fun. I think it was one of those things. I've never been a mobile gamer, so I never really stuck around, but I did play a decent amount of Sky. And it's, to your point, Eric, it's Journey in a different setting. With the twist is the crux of the actual game. And it was a fun time. That would be cool to check that out for sure.
It's on everything too, so it's not just it's on, well, I think it's just not on Xbox, but it's on every other platform. Like,
I think when they first released it, it was mobile only, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah. Okay, that's probably why I felt.
I think that's where it won most of its awards, was just being mobile.
Yeah, it was also a gorgeous
Aurora
game.
Did the soundtrack. Like, it's a kick-ass soundtrack, and Aurora is the weirdest little elf creature, and I love her dearly.
Oh, wait. I thought you were talking about like an actual elf. Like, I was like, an elf did the
Dude, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Like New Age Bjork.
Oh, yes. Okay, gotcha. I was like,
yeah.
An elf?
Yeah. You may know her from Frozen 2 as the voice of the mom. The thing, the calling.
Oh, gotcha.
Shit that makes me cry every time I watch like that specific scene. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But she also did the soundtrack for Sky.
Very cool. Yeah, Sky's definitely a good a good one. It was, I kind of wish I didn't fall off of it.
Well, it's still there for you.
It's always time.
I'll have to check that one out. I also played Journey. I played Flower. I never played Flow. I never played from Giant Squid. I never played Pathless. I never played Abzu. But similar to you, Eric, the first time I played Journey was like a transformative experience. I know that's kind of a cliche statement to throw out, but I was of that. I know we talked about it earlier, where like if you're in the rare subset of people that don't have the twist spoiled for you until the very end, I was in that group where I was just like credits rolled and I was like, oh shit, like this is they did something here. But I adored Journey. I remember really enjoying Flower. And I also have rolled credits on Sword of the Sea. It took me about 3.5 hours as well. So I think we're all kind of in that 3 to 3 3/4 range, it sounds like. Yeah. So now knowing all that, I do want to jump into some overall thoughts, and we can kind of just have open discussion on what we thought of Sword of the Sea. We might jump into some light spoilers for anybody who's watching. We're going to try and keep it as as little details as possible. But we might jump into a little bit of light spoilers for anybody who's watching. So I want to know kind of your high level thoughts. And then we're also going to introduce our content mill grading system at the end of our thoughts, and kind of put a grade on this game and see how we feel about Sword of the Sea. I want to kick things off. Nate, I know you prepared a damn textbook of notes.
I've got some notes.
So Nate, I want to kick things off with you, brother. Tell me what you thought of Sword of the Sea. You know, just some give us a deep dive. What was your experience with Sword of the Sea? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Tell us what you thought.
So this game was like this was very different from everything that I've been playing recently. I would say in the past year, I've been very shooter, violent game focused for a long time. So then when you came to us and said that we're reviewing Sword of the Sea first, I'm like, sure. I mean, I'll hop in. I played Journey forever ago, so like if this lives up to that, then cool. And I started this and finished it in one sitting.
Woo!
So first I hopped in one night and did maybe 20 minutes, and then something brought me off. I had to jump off. And then second time I sat down, I'm like, I'm not that far. I'm just going to restart, whatever.
Mhm.
Sat down with my wife and we did from start to finish. And I have not loved an indie game this much in a very long time. This was one of those things where, you know, the term flow state that people
Mhm.
normally talk about with like Tetris
Yeah.
and Res and things like that. I found myself falling into the flow state very often in this, where I would like come to an area or the challenges, and I would kind of lose all sense of everything else that's happening around me. And it was just my eyes and my controller. And I'm just doing sick ass Tony Hawk kick flips and you know, and it was very, I don't know, this was a game that I was not expecting to be like this, especially going off the name Sword of the Sea. I was expecting combat and slashing a sword around, and instead I found cool hover skateboarding in one of the most unique, interesting worlds that I have been in a very, very long time. The overall premise of like going throughout this desert and revitalizing it with the ocean
Mhm.
really clung to me, and trying to find, oh, if I hit these lanterns and get this water back, oh, I'm a little quicker here to then hit this jump to get up here. And it was one of those things that like I started it and I didn't put the controller down until I finished.
Yeah, I'm curious. What was everyone's when they found the first like time trial thing? Because like I was like, oh man, this game would be so funny if it had like a point system, right? Because you're able to do tricks and all that stuff. And then what was everyone's first like thought when the time trial thing happens and they're like score 10,000 points, and then literally just Tony Hawk happens for like 2 minutes? Like, what was your first like instinct on that?
So that caught me off guard
Mhm.
at first. I think like Nate, it was kind of like once I had like lost myself in the game, I was just kind of like, okay, this is a little random, but I like it. Like I enjoy it. And I think that first one in that initial like
Mhm.
open area that you're kind of like pulling the two sides of the map
Yeah.
together on. And it just kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, oh, there's a timer now and there's like trick points. And I'm like, what are we doing here? But for some reason I was like, but I got to do it. Like I got to hit this 10,000. I got to get these 10,000 points or 8,000 points or whatever it was. It was random, but I loved every second of it. You know what I mean? To the point where like when I got to the second one and the third one, I want to say there was like 4 during my playthrough. I just got so invested in it, or I'm hitting like 30, 40,000, 40,000 points.
Yeah, my
like,
record was
session.
95,000 at
Oh
one
my
point.
God.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a jellyfish one that's just busted. You can just fly forever, basically.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
yeah.
Eric, I'm sorry. I think I got you beat. I had
boy.
I think it
That's
was
fine.
170,000.
That's a lot.
Woo!
I got into it in one of them. I think I spent almost half an hour in one of the challenge areas, just like do it again, do it again,
Yeah.
do it
Were you a
again.
Tony Hawk kid?
Not that much.
No.
Underground 1 is like the only Tony Hawk game I played as a kid.
Yeah.
That's a good one. If that's the only
yeah,
one you
it
played.
is
Yeah,
one.
that's my favorite. Yeah, Thug 1 is my favorite. So
American
definitely
Wasteland
gotta
sicko
go.
over here.
American Wasteland's dope. Cool. So sounds like you're pretty high on Sword of the Sea. Phil,
Very high.
I want to know what your thoughts are. We know you're the resident wild card. We've established.
There's gonna be a heartbreaker here.
Uh,
I thought that this game was capital F fine. I was a Tony Hawk kid and I like had fun with it, but it was never my like main thing. And I guess so. I reviewed this game after we talked about it a little bit and saying that we're going to do it for the show. And the thing that I kept coming back to is you all have mentioned this incredible experience that you had with Journey. And I think that everyone who makes these games had that experience and then made games that tried to do that again. And this one very much felt like I know what the cultural thing is for Journey, and they're just trying to do it again. And I've just played games that did it better than this. And it just, I don't know, it didn't really click for me. I have a lot of feelings about the trick system, which I found annoying and cumbersome. I thought that it was too slow.
I agree.
And I hated the platforming because it was so frustrating sometimes because I was bad at it. I did love the animals though, like the big ups on riding on a whale. Love that. Big fan.
And the set pieces in general, I'm sure you were loving. Like if you came in here and we're like, yeah, the set piece, the design of everything was bad, I would have been like, Phil.
No. It's gorgeous. Like it is a beautiful game, and it does the.
Phil just hates fun.
I do hate fun. No, this is true. This is the thing that you need to know about me.
He just likes words. That's it. There wasn't enough words.
Yeah, and I mean there was no skate, so like there's nothing here for me, you know.
That's so funny.
No,
Eric,
I thought it was good, but it was not,
and that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Eric, what about you? Where are you at with it?
I loved it. I definitely enjoyed it. I like completely non-spoiler since Phil hasn't played Journey yet. I think you'll like Journey better because it is more slow and methodical. And it does require a bit more like finesse than this game that's all about like speed. They basically took one very legendary moment from Journey and turned it into this game with the speed aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I think I do agree that like it is just trying to capitalize on that Journey thing, but it is trying to capitalize on a specific Journey thing and not the overall Journey thing, which I thought was cool because they expanded on a specific point in Journey that everyone that's played Journey knows exactly what I'm talking about. It is a very gold scene that happens, and they just took this game and they were just like, yep, let's do that speed the entire time. But I agree, the trick controls are very clunky. I was like, what I was trying to, while I was playing it, I didn't really say it too much on stream because I was just like vibing, but in my head I was like, what button combination would this make it feel better? Like if it was just pure Tony Hawk controls, would it feel better where I'm just like pressing a direction and X and whatnot? Like would that feel better? But holding the bumpers and stuff was very strange. I didn't struggle with the platforming because once I realized that the way because you think you're riding a vehicle, you think that there's momentum. There's no momentum. The second you stop, it's like you're walking. You just stop moving, which I thought was good because I was like, otherwise, the platforming would have been impossible. And I think it's a little lenient when it comes to the platforming because there is a lot of times where you're like 10 feet away from a rail and it just like vacuums you over to it, which is nice. But yeah, I think for me, most of this game was just exploration, seeing new spots, and the set pieces. And that's what I was going into it for, was the set pieces, and the ending like couple stages fully delivered on the set pieces that I was hoping for. And the fact that like, I'm a big underwater, like, marine life person. I love that stuff. My entire right arm is just covered in like marine life stuff. And it delivered on that. And I just thought it was so cool to be like, they designed a world that's like fully underwater without being underwater. And I just thought that was so sick. I was like, it's like flying underwater and they don't have the annoying water physics. Like that's basically what they wanted to do. They're like, let's make a water level with all the cool aspects of water, but no water level mechanics.
Yeah, I think the first time, and I think that was the first time where I was like, oh, this is so weird and clever, because the first time you go to that first time trial, I remember I was going up the hill that's like exiting out of that time trial, and the water was like slanted like up a hill, and that was when it like clicked for me, like, because when you first start this game, like the sand is very much operating. I know this is kind of a weird thing for me to latch onto, but like the sand is very much operating like water. And you're like, okay, I get it. Like I get the little twist that they're doing. But then you get to that time trial, and it was the first time I was like, the water is operating like sand. And it was like this weird kind of like, they've got fish that fly and dolphins that dive under the dirt, and like it was this weird thing that kind of played with your expectations of, you know, they've got orcas floating in the middle of like seaweed that's like in the middle of the air. Like it was such a fascinating thing.
Yeah, there was so many times that the graphical stuff that they were pulling off with like the way water would just turn into sand. I was like, oh my God. Like that, I know it's not a high fidelity game graphics wise, but just the programming behind that stuff, I was like, this is crazy. Like
even the ground that isn't water rippling when you like land on it.
Yeah. It's cool. It was cool, like especially those dunes in the beginning, and there's like one other sand level in there that it looks great. It's so cool.
Yeah. The first time you trigger the sort of the sea stuff and like the water expands from there, and you're like, oh my God. Like I knew that was going to happen, and I was still just like gobsmacked by it. Like I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I think the first pop was the first time you see the dolphins, like the sand turn into the water, and then the dolphins are like flying through. That was like the first time I was like, all right, I'm in, dude. I'm fucking in, dude. This is so cool. It's so interesting.
And then like, oh man, I'm remembering the first like wall ride I did, and I was like, the wall rides are they do it in such a cool way, because the wall rides are just like, if you hit the wall, you just go. You know, like you don't have to really worry about like, you know, trying to balance it or anything. Like, you know, you're just going, and it just feels so cool. And like they just keep stacking mechanics. By the end of the game, you're doing stuff that feels like incredible, and it definitely ticks that like Tony Hawk thing where it's like, no, I messed up. I'm going to start over. I need to do this line perfect because I need it to feel good.
Yeah, you want it to look cool. Like
I do want it to look. I want it to look cool.
Dude, I had that in the very like anytime you would be like grinding on those giant chains that are in the. I would constantly be like, oh, I fucked that up. Let me start over. You go back to the beginning, and you're just kind of like. Phil, you mentioned that you had some kind of beef with a little bit of the platforming, because I felt the opposite. I thought it was extremely intuitive. What was your thoughts on the platforming?
I think it is that momentum thing. Like I actually wanted it to have the momentum of like being able to see where I'm going, and really I feel like my main beef with it is that second level, specifically the like grotto village.
Green, it's like very green, right? That's like the one. That's how I have them all in my head, is like the color, the main color that the places were.
Yeah, like you were jumping between like buildings that had like endless voids under them, and it just kind of got annoying at one point. But it was really just the precision of it, right? Like you would do all of these jumps, and then you would have the skills to like drop and everything, and it just never had that momentum. It never had that like clunk to it that I kind of expect from a platformer. And like also the like we're real deep in the quibbles now, but like knowing where I was dropping, like having the shadow on the ground was always a really hard thing for me to like get a good perspective on.
I think I only ran into that. There's I don't want to spoil it, but there's an area near the end of the game, like probably right before the final section, that drastically changes the tone. And that was the one part where I was like, I don't like this, because it does get very like platform centric. It gets very puzzle oriented, and I was like, I'm not that was the only part of the game that I was like, I'm really not vibing with this part, because I was having that exact same issue. You have to be very precise in where you jump, how you jump, when you jump.
But I think they knew that too, seeing as it's definitely the shortest section.
Yeah, you're right.
I also don't know if you're supposed to be good at it specifically at that point. Like, I don't think that there is a perfect run. Like, I think you just got to take the pain as you.
Because so we're talking about the like very orange area. Correct?
Yeah. Okay, we can say it. Stick with the colors. Everyone knows what fire and lava is. We can.
Right.
Yeah, because I realized that too. I was like, oh fuck, I'm really doing bad. But then I tested it once, and you stay alive on that lava for a long time. Yeah. So you're in way less danger than you think you are.
Well, maybe that's so then maybe that's just my anxiety getting in the way of like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Eric saw me playing Hollow Knight earlier, and he's probably screaming through the monitor because I was just kind of like,
I
get so nervous.
I was giving you very calm advice. I was watching a baby Souls-like player learn patience and timing, and I was like, "Look at this man, he's doing it."
But that's how I felt with that section. I was like, anytime like you'd start to, because I think the wraith starts kind of glowing like orange or something as well. Anytime you'd start getting that, I'd be like freaking out. I'm like, I have to jump back and heal or wait it out or whatever it was.
It does underwater Mario. Like he will like pulse faster and faster and faster.
Yeah. I think aside from that area though, I know Eric, you brought up the like you stop, the wraith stops. Like whether you're midair, whether you're on the so I kind of like that there's that immediacy to the stopping and accelerating. You brought up the tricks. I have to disagree on the tricks though. And Nate, I kind of want to hear your thought on this as well. I think that because the tricks outside of those few time trials, aside from the fact that they're not like, they're a little clunky in the way that they operate, they're never necessary. Like I never felt the need, with the exception of gaining the acceleration points in New Game Plus. In the main game, there's never a point where it's like mandatory. So to me, I was always just kind of like, this is just like a cherry on top. Like I got big air, I'm gonna do a trick. Like that was kind of other than that, I was more focused on like, can I land smoothly? Can I make my run feel like almost like, especially when you get to like, there's an ice area, really cool ice area.
Oh yeah.
And it's almost more like snowboarding. And it is kind of like, I just want to look like I'm carving sexy. Like I don't even care about the tricks at this point. So I kind of have to disagree on that. Nate, what were your thoughts?
I enjoyed actually the like simplicity of it, of just hold the bumper and it's just the face buttons. And if you click one once, you do a grab, you click it twice, you do a flip, and you can chain them together of like, I'll hold the bumper, go off a dune, do just a grab, land, go off the next bigger one, do a flip into a grab, land. And I never felt that it was like, oh, I messed that up and that was bad and this or that. It was always, like you said, a cherry on top. So when I was doing it, it was just for my enjoyment if it was outside of those challenges. But then when it did come to the challenges, I found myself like falling into these chains that I'm like, oh, I could do this, this, and this, and that gets me a lot of points. And I get a little bit of the clunky, but I definitely feel like it could have been worse. And for what it was in the simplicity, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you brought up too, like you don't even, sorry, not to cut you off, Eric. You don't even bail too. Like if you mess up a trick, it's just kind of like you see it a little bit, but he kind of just, the wraith just kind of keeps it.
If you ate shit, I would actually hate the trick thing. But no, the fact that it's like a complete optional thing, I love that. I'm just saying it's clunky. Like that's it.
Yeah.
I don't like this. The fact that the tricks are in there is a positive. It is a positive to the whole score of everything. But if they were gone, it wouldn't like make it worse.
Right.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, I feel like I go the other way. I think that this is not a tricks game. Like I think putting the like thematically at least like putting the tricks in here kind of just like really made this game feel like a weird mishmash. Like are you trying to tell me a big powerful story, or am I just here to do a kickflip? Because like the tricks, like it's like a like it feels like they added it. Like it don't get me wrong. What you were talking about is very fun. Like it is fun to just like do the thing. I never caught on to how I could tell if I landed it or not. I only noticed that in like New Game Plus, where there's like a weird like fire effect that makes it look like you bailed. And like I couldn't tell the difference between, you know, mashing X twice or mashing Y twice. Like they kind of look like the same to me. But the thing that I was really confused about is they're trying to tell a story here. Like they're trying to tell a story about like this desert coming back to life. There's stuff about like old gods and combat between the gods. And then you're just a dude on a sword and you're doing a kickflip. And it was like really, this like really weird thing for me where it felt like it was distracting. Like it was pulling me out of what I'm supposed to be feeling because I'm too focused on, you know, doing a cool trick off of this wall ride to hit that grind when like it sounds like maybe the fate of the world is in my hands, but
it breaks the immersion for you.
Yeah.
I think what Phil wants is the Jet Set Radio like style of tricks, because in Jet Set Radio, when you play that, you have to be going a specific amount of speed, and then you will do a random trick. So like maybe that where it's just like you're just doing a trick, right? Because like, oh yeah, look, you picked up a lot of
Yeah.
speed and it shows that like you did something good. But
Yeah.
like you have no control really over what fucking trick you're doing.
Yeah.
It just happens. Because like, come on. If you're going fast on a board and you fucking get 50 feet in the air, I don't care who you are, you're gonna do something fun.
You're gonna do it, like you're gonna want to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, it almost would have made the time trials, because I do agree with that, and I think that's maybe what I was trying to say in a roundabout way, not as eloquently in the beginning, was like those time trials, they do kind of break. They remove you from the like, oh, okay, it's a time trial now, and I got to do tricks. Like that does kind of remove you for like a quick second. And yeah, that Jet Set style might almost be a little bit more beneficial to like it would make it less clunky, because when you were talking about it, Nate, you can get points. I know you mentioned like the wall rides and then the jellyfish, they all get you points too. Like everything you do in those sessions gets you points. It's not just the tricks in the air. So you could kind of eliminate the face buttons for the tricks and just flat go for just generic tricks every time. And then just focus on getting more of the wall rides, getting the jellyfish jumps, getting the, double jumps or whatever. So I can definitely see that.
So that Jet Set change is something you would make that like, just increase the quality a little bit to you. What are some other little ones? Because as much as I love this game, I do wish there are a couple things that were added in that maybe would have even bumped it up even higher for me. The name is Sword of the Sea. You don't use the sword as a sword hardly ever. There is a few key moments at the end, and in the ice area when you're going past those small glaciers and stuff, you smack them, and that's kind of the extent of it. My small wish would be that there would maybe be like enemies scattered throughout, not huge things, but maybe small grunt-like things that you could go by and do a little attack to, and maybe that gets you points or something.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if it necessarily from a points perspective, but I think maybe from those coins, grabbing like the little currency that you get throughout the game. I mean, unless you're really chasing the score, which I think the only purpose to chase the score would be like the new game plus portion. But I could see that. But see, I could go both ways on that, because I feel like this game tonally is so much about restoring life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. So like thematically, it might not make a whole lot of sense.
It's got to be barren. Like that's the whole, the whole thing is this is supposed to be a lonely thing. Because like the reveal at the end of like what all of this is like there's nothing.
Yeah. It sucks for these people here.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. So let them do some fucking tricks, Phil.
Let the man kickflip, Phil.
Let the man kickflip.
Do some pop shove-its, man. Come on. No, I do agree. I think if it was going to be a combat thing, I think it would be actually interesting if there was and I'm not really like a big combat. I don't really need combat in my games at all. But I do think if there was little interstitials in between each zone where you had to like actually get off your sword and use your sword as a sword, that might be interesting. But this developer is not known for combat. So it would probably be pretty bare bones and pointless. So I think that's why they probably went without it.
Phil, you mentioned the kind of like the dissonance between the story and then the tricks, the hashtag tricks.
Yeah.
Well, what was your overall thoughts on how the story was presented, like the lore? Well, because I that's what I'm most excited to talk about. Phil, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be Debbie Downer Phil time. So in that review, I kind of talked about how like the idea that there are other devs who are making journey-like games and they've just kind of like blown the genre out of the water and they've just like gone their own ways. And the game that sticks out to me is I don't know if any of y'all have played this. We talked about it briefly, but Jusant is it's by Don't Nod, came out in 2023, and it is a game about the environment, a world in which you live in an endless desert and all of the water has left. And what you must do is take your little whale friend and climb up this very tall tower and solve puzzle challenges and whatever. And the reason that it is relevant to this is that the thing about these games that have come out post Journey is that I think the thing that has resonated with a lot of people in the Journey space and like what has like stuck with you are these personal human stories that the like grander kind of gods versus gods and like the mythical stuff is, it seems like what they were going for. But to me, like games like Jusant have just these like absolutely gorgeous human grounded stories that is about just people living in the aftermath. And I think that when I talk about like the dissonance of the trick system and how that's like jovial and fun versus, you know, some of the like, there's some like really deep cut moments in this game, especially in the latter half. Like the Sacred River is like a thing that is like kind of a bummer. And like is the emotional beat of this, but it's like difficult for me to get there because I don't know any of these people. Like there's no evidence that any of these people really mattered or even existed. And I think that that's what this game loses out on just by being mythical, like by not like grounding it in like a, not even a person, like a people. Like the story of this, I mean, also I didn't find all the steles, so I don't really know what the story is completely. I just know it's like Power Rangers Red versus Blue and fire and sadness, and then we built a village underground. But yeah, that those are my like general thoughts. I just think there are other games that are doing it a lot better in like a personal way that work for me.
Eric, what did you think?
So I thought the story was enough that I needed, because for me, the like subtle storytelling of just an environment and feeling like a, you know, like basically like a archaeologist, anthropologist, like going through this and being like, okay, this shit doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. Like everything's gone. This is what's left, and we're trying to bring back something, and what we're bringing back is like just water and animals. There's not anything else. Like everybody else is gone, and the reason is because of a war between like basically water and fire. And you know, the Sword of the Sea, you know, that we're presumably writing is the main reason that anything is left. And just going through and kind of like getting what we can back to the way it is, and then finding ways to actually kind of like by the end do more than we thought probably would be able to do. I think it's just enough, because a game like this is just more about flow and like just a vibe. So having that little bit, and I did find a good amount of the things. So like reading them, I was theorizing while I was streaming and stuff. And like, I you know, really early on, they show you a thing of like, oh, the fire versus water. And it's like two characters on the screen. And I was like, that's the water one. That's the fire one. The fire one's the bad one. We look like the fire one. And that was enough for me to be like, what's going on here for the rest of the thing? Because then they introduced a secondary character that, you know, is kind of stalking you for a bit. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, they look like the good guy. Why do we look like the bad guy? And why do we have the Sword of the Sea? Like there was just so many questions that were slowly doled out that kept me going.
Yeah, I think some of the tomes you find towards the end, without giving too much away, some of the tomes that you find towards the end are like they kind of recontextualize a lot of the game. And I found myself, I found myself, there was a good 2 or 3 where I was like, oh shit, like there is way more going on here than I anticipated. Eric, you touched on like the archaeology aspect of it. My thing, guys, is like, if there's an ancient civilization, sign me the fuck up, dude. Like I wanna know. Like, so like Phil, I know you mentioned like the relation with the and I know there's a way to do that. I know there's a way to create more connection with that ancient civilization. But like, I just love that aspect of like, there was this community. None of them exist anymore. I'm the last one, or am I the last one? You know what I mean? Like, I love
What
that
even am I?
Yeah.
Love a
What
good
even
ruin.
am I? Am I good? Am
Yeah.
I bad? Like, I really love that aspect. And to be honest with you, Phil, like, we recommend Journey a lot. I think that's a big selling point of Journey too. Like, there's a lot of vague storytelling. There's a lot of environmental clues that you kind of have to hash out yourself. There's one area in this game specifically. They talked about on the drop in, drop out spoiler cast. I don't want to give too much away, but there's an area in the snow section where you kind of run into this part of the environment where you're like, what the hell is this? What's going on here?
Oh my god, yeah.
And they don't really
about the ghost warriors.
Yeah, so they don't really explain a whole
Yeah.
lot, but you can find some tomes that explain them away. And I remember going like, damn, like there's a whole long history subtext to what was happening in this world. So
I think that was my favorite part of the lore.
Yeah.
In that whole section. That was one bit that definitely left me wanting more, because this is a world, like, especially when they introduced that, I'm like, oh, I know Giant Squid isn't known for like DLCs or direct sequels, but like I could do with one that like expands upon this.
Yeah, 100%. And that was actually what I was going to ask you next. So that's a perfect segue. What would you want from a DLC for Sword of the Sea? Like what do you envision that as?
Probably, now that, kind of light spoilers, it's kind of how most games go. The protagonist does the thing, saves the world. But I would want to see now the aftermath of, like, now that everything's been saved, how does that then evolve? Show me the world, maybe, I don't know, 100 years after or something, where like another wraith is then revived, and what is the world like now?
I could see that. Phil, what about you? Do you see like a sequel? Do you see DLC? Where are you at with this?
I want the 5 years from now anniversary edition, where it is the exact same game and all they do is they double the speed. That's it. Sword of the Sea.
One more trick.
What? Oh yeah, one more trick. Yeah, you know what? Yes, they do the Batman thing where, like, you
have to press the right thumbstick.
Yep. You hold the bumper and you hit
really
X and Y, and that you do a crazy trick.
You get the special meter. Yeah. That's the DLC. Is
different color flame for the Wraith's head.
Yeah, dude. Tricky mode. Come on,
actually,
dude.
The fact that that's not a thing is kind of crazy, because in Journey, the like completionist thing is you get a white.
You're right.
You get a white tunic. Yeah,
you're right. You are right.
You get all those upgrades, and maybe it changes.
Maybe that's true. Could.
What about
Eric?
Goofy Foot?
Goofy Foot? That'd actually be hilarious.
It's really backwards. You're just facing the other way.
Near level.
Wow, look at this. That's crazy.
The director's cut only though.
That's some 2012 gaming bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you see from what's next?
Nothing. I don't think this game needs anything else. But if I were Giant Squid, what I would do is, in a couple years, or maybe just like literally a year from now, I would release a bundle that is the other games that are slightly attached to this game, and say this is the order. I think that's what it needs. I think it needs an order.
Do like the Legend of Zelda anthology type thing.
Yes.
Okay, then,
because
compendium.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of DLC or a sequel to really, what about another game that's like, I can't remember which one you're talking about that's technically connected to this, but like
Two
what
of
would
them
be okay, then what would be the natural progression from here to then like connect it all, the quote unquote end game of it?
So from my understanding, it's the way it is, and this is pretty spoiler heavy, so if you want to like skip ahead like 5 minutes at least, it is, I believe it's Abzu, then Pathless, then this game, I think. but Abzu also might be after Sword of the Sea, and Journey might be somewhere in there, but they can't.
That's
they can't actually
thing.
Yeah, they can't have that in there. So that's why there's only like, if there's anything contextually tied to Journey, it's like very small. So that's what's interesting, because from my understanding, what Jake had told me is that it's the shark in this game is from Abzu, so he's already existed.
Okay.
And the little shells that you collect are from Abzu. And I think those are the only things.
Speaking of, is there anything you do with those shells, or do you just collect them?
You just
I was expecting them to be a currency.
There's a couple things that I ran across in my playthrough that, like, did you guys get the frogs?
Yes.
So,
did you get the really sad one?
I got like 3 of them, and I was like, I don't know if this is a reference to another game, or I don't know what the purpose of that was.
It's photo mode, baby. That's it.
Photo mode.
But yeah, so I think that's what they should do, is like release a bundle with all 3 of these games and be like, this is the correct order to play them in, because I think that would be cool, because it's like, we don't need a sequel because this game is technically a sequel already. And it's a cyclical thing on top of all that. I'm pretty sure is like, I'm pretty sure it's cyclical. And like I said, Journey fits in there somewhere. I don't know where exactly. And it
officially.
Yeah. But I think it's a cyclical thing between those 3 games. And I think they did that on purpose. And they could do another, like, if they come out with something else, it'll be a follow-up to this game, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form. I have no idea what. But I don't think it technically needs a direct sequel or anything like that, because it technically has a sequel and prequel already.
Do you think that, like, I'm so curious about this, because I obviously didn't pick up any of this stuff by not playing those other games. I'm curious how much of it is a sequel and how much of it is like the combination of, like, are these just Easter eggs for our benefit? And then also, like, kind of going back to the idea that a lot of what's happening here is myth. Like, when you talk about cycles, I also think of like ancient, like, Norse cycles. Like they are referred to as cycles, and they are like groups of fables that are supposed to tell you something. But the fact that I know who, like, what the main character is in Abzu, and that feels very not what this world is. So it's really, I'm really curious to see if they sat down and said, okay, Sword of the Sea is prequel, sequel, The Empire Strikes Back version of this.
I don't think it's ever unintentional. I think like I think of Legend of Zelda. I think like Legend of Zelda, I don't think started out intentionally as some big spanning, like, right. I don't think that's how it started.
Timeline. Yeah.
Right. But I think now, I don't think, even as standalone as Journey was, I don't think they developed it with the intent. I don't think they developed their next game without the intention of connecting it to Journey.
Yeah.
Whether that was that game company Sky, or I'm blanking on the name now, and I played it. Sky. Or, because for those that don't know, I want to say it was after Journey, the devs that went from that game company, they formed Giant Squid, and that's where we got Abzu, the Pathless, and now Sword of the Sea. I don't think either company went into either of those follow-ups, whether it's Sky or Abzu, without intending for it to be connected. Because I think now there's some level of expectation, Phil, that we had. I think we all had this conversation in the Discord in the last week or so about, like, there's like this expectation that things have to either be wrapped up. I think it was on one of your YouTube videos. Things have to be wrapped up, or they have to be continued in some capacity. So I don't think that they're just Easter eggs for the sake of being Easter eggs. I think there's a very clear plan in mind. I do tend to side with what Eric's saying, is like, I think this needs to be it for this story. I like finales. I like endings. I like when things kind of have a nice bow on it, because I think that too often things just drag out far beyond their expiration date. And then we're like, all right, dude, like, how how much of these threads do it's the reason I fell off of the Kingdom Hearts series, where I'm just like, what the fuck is going on now? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I loved those games until we got to like the fourth side story, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. I'm not saying that that's the plan for Sword of the Sea, nor do I think that Giant Squid is the type of company that would do something like that, but they've got to have some plan in mind. I don't think we need a sequel. I think if we do get a DLC, though, I would be interested in not so much continuing the story of the Wraith. I would like to see the alternate perspective Leon Claire version.
Okay, actually, that would be cool.
Yeah. And more so, like, I kind of like when there's like the slight overlap. So maybe we get like some events leading up to Sword of the Sea, up to a specific point in Sword of the Sea, you know, something along those lines where you kind of know how the story continues at some point. But I would like to see the Leon and Claire of it, and
that would be
see
really
that
cool.
different perspective, because I think it would also offer similar but slightly different. Hollow Knight, Silk Song, you're going to get that kind of little bit of a difference in traversal, maybe difference in skills, and I think that would be really fun to look at.
Well, yeah, we've already talked about spoilers. The secondary character is the main character of the Pathless.
This is a spoiler cast now.
That does have combat in it, so maybe that is where they delve into combat. I haven't played, like, I didn't go into this game knowing that they're connected to Abzu or the Pathless. That was like, I literally finished stream, I rated Jake, and then talked to Jake right then and there. And he's like, oh yeah, this is the theory. And I was like, holy shit, I didn't know that at all. So I went through this game completely just thinking this was the world, and that was it. So it's a game you can play completely, like, without playing the other ones, which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it needs anything else. And I think maybe this is like, they made Abzu, they made the Pathless, and they saw a way to connect those two games to Sword of the Sea and just put a little bow. And maybe that's the end of these kind of games, because people have been asking for the Journey follow-up for years. And maybe this was their effort, and just being like, we're done with that now. We're going to move on to other things.
Yeah, first-person shooter.
Of course.
Naturally.
Live service, my favorite game.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, let's put a bow on it, my friend. I want to know, where do you land on Sword of the Sea? What grade do you give this game? Is it an F? Is it an F minus? Is it a D plus?
No minuses.
Is it an S?
No minuses.
Oh yeah, no minuses.
No
Okay,
minuses,
so
no pluses.
So no pluses, no minuses.
Just
we have
an
a 6.
A to, or the regular grading scale.
Yes.
American grading scale with an S.
With an S. 6-point grading scale. Eric, go. 60 seconds on the clock.
It's an A. I mean, I'm not like, there's nothing. It's a good ass game. I enjoyed every second of it. It could be better for sure, but there's nothing that I can complain about that would drop. Like, if I said it was a B, that would feel wrong. If I said it was an S, it would feel wrong. So it has to fall into A. And it's just a good ass game, and I'm excited. I played it on my PC when I streamed it. I'm very excited to play it like on the big screen. I'm probably going to end up buying it again on the PS5 just for, extra.
For the DualSense alone. So
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
That's another thing.
The tinkle tinks it makes when you're going across the rooftops. Oh my gosh.
Hey, maybe that's
satisfying.
maybe that's a whole reason for it to be a higher grade. Maybe I'll come back and adjust it after the PS5 as the definitive edition. But yeah, that's where I'm sitting with it.
Phil, Eric gives it an A. What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a C.
A C. All
Right,
right.
it's fun.
State your case. 60 seconds. Go.
I think I'm very sullied by what I was saying before. Like, I've just played better versions of this game that fit what I want. Like, I want it to either be faster or I want it to be way, 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 way slower. And the thing that I think is maybe really sticking to me is the story. Like, I just need something more personal. I need it to feel smaller. I need you to tell me big things about little people doing stuff. So yeah, I think we're sitting at a C on this one.
All right, Nate, you got high marks and you got middling marks. Where do you land with it, Nate?
I am right with Eric. He said it perfectly. If you give it a B, it just feels wrong, but an S also wrong because like there are definitely some additions I would make that would need to bump it to an S.
Yeah, I am right there with you. And Eric, I would give this an A. I think the vibes are right. I think the soundtrack, which I know we didn't talk too much about, the soundtrack is phenomenal. Very rarely do I listen to a game soundtrack off game time, and this was one of those exceptions.
Good year for that.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of amazing soundtracks this year. But I thought that the traversal felt so smooth. It was very what's the word I'm looking for? Therapeutic. And again, like what Phil, your point about the getting personal with it, I was kind of like, I was almost more in love with the fact that we don't know what's going on, and it's kind of up to us to kind of, but it's very much a to each their own. And I think that I like the conversation around Sword of the Sea because I think it is, I hate the mileage may vary, cliche, but it is very much you kind of get out of it what you're looking for in it, and I love the hell out of it. So we have 3 A's, we got 1 C. I think for the most part the content mill had a pretty good time with Sword of the Sea with a couple of objections, but that's
Phil just needs a required word count for his game. So
I do, yeah.
Like this man, when I recommend Citizen Sleeper to you? Or
yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's the most Phil ass game. Is
Sure
Citizen
is.
Sleeper. That game is perfect. Like if you want to know what a Phil game is, it's Citizen Sleeper.
Never checked out Citizen Sleeper, but I've downloaded. I think I have it on Game Pass.
Yeah, you should give it a go.
Oh my god,
I do gotta check it out.
I mean,
and if you
digital
want,
choose your own adventure book.
Yeah, basically. And if you want, play Citizen Sleeper 2 because that came out this year, so that can be.
Do I need to play 1? Can I just go straight to 2?
No.
It's an anthology, right? Okay.
Yep.
Literally, if you play 1 first, 2 will be better. And if you play 2 first, then 1, when you play 1, it will be better. There's light crossover to the point of it just being a beneficial thing. So when you go back to 1, you'll be like, holy shit, this person kind of thing.
Just play the new one. And then if you love it, play the old one. Cool.
Yep.
Bro, holy fuck. It's so good.
That's awesome. Well, guys, I have places to go and I got people to see. So we are going to put a pin in today's episode. That was our Sword of the Sea review turned spoiler cast. Thank you guys for joining. We're going to go roundtable. Where can the people find you? Nate, we'll start with you. Heroic Headgear.
TikTok and Twitch, Heroic Headgear. I'm starting off some Twitch streams here next month, giving away a helmet that pertains to a game that we're streaming. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Awesome. Phil, where can the people find you?
You can find me at 70%complete.com. You can find links to socials and the YouTube there. I will be having a video about dystopia and why is it that we like to enjoy it when the shit is all around us. That'll be coming out soon. So check that out.
Love it. Eric, what about you?
You can find me on Twitch at Mr. The Human Plays. You can find me everywhere else at Mr. the Human. If you want to go check out other stuff on the network, the corner of the internet network, you can go to coti.pika.page. That is where all of these lovely people on this podcast and others you'll find their content over there, including my podcast, Short Game Long Talk, where I play short games, talk about them for way too long with my goddaughter. It's a fun time. And that's basically it. Gianni, where do people find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. Look me up, Gianni DiCrossa. I just go by my government name. Anywhere you're at, I'm there as well. I put up long form review content on my YouTube, short form review and Twitch clips on my Instagram and my TikTok. And I stream 3 times a week over on Twitch. I have a Borderlands 4 impressions video coming out next week. And I may or may not have a Ghost of Tsushima retrospective coming out on September 25th for no reason in particular.
Oh, yeah.
But
Nothing coming out about that one?
Nothing coming out that day. Guys, this has been the Content Mill Podcast episode 2. You can find us over at the Content Mill Podcast on YouTube. Once again, this is our batch release of our first 3 episodes. We have our introductory episode. We have this episode, our Sword of the Sea review / spoilercast. And we also have our birth year game draft, episode 3. It's a fun conversation that we're going to have. We look forward to seeing you over there. And make sure to give us a follow. Make sure you give us a sub and leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of Sword of the Sea. We will see you next time.
Goodbye.
See ya.